Hey, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. I have a couple of announcements. Tonight at 6 p.m. Central, Desiree and I will be on Sean's channel, Manly Made Minute, and we will be playing and having so much fun, and I hope you'll come over there to watch the live stream. Also, Saturday on my channel, we'll be learning gel printing, eco printing with Yolanda from Devon Rex for Art. So please come join us at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on Saturday as well. I'm making a light up mixed media card today. I have this candlelight that is from Pear Blossom Press that is so amazing. You press the button and blow on it like a birthday candle and blow out the light or the candle. I'm also using the Sizzix embossing folder and dies, and I'm going to make kind of just a mystical, magical card with you all today. This is a very heavyweight watercolor paper that I'm using here that just has a light wash of brown on it, kind of tan or aged paper looking. And I wet my paper and then I put it through my 3D embossing folder and machine. And I embossed this image. Now I'm bringing in these Kuretake granulating watercolors. This is the first set that they released. I just love these things so much. And I didn't bother to leave in all the die cutting, but I also did obviously a whole lot of die cutting with those little Sizzix dies. And I loved these because they're on a plate. And so all the pieces that you need to build each component come on those little plates, and they're easier to keep up with the small pieces. It was no big deal, but I did leave all of that out of this video in efforts to keep it a little shorter for you. I am going to show you more of my technique with my watercolor though, because these watercolors need water. To really separate, you've got to saturate and add plenty of water. Now, I'm obviously going for a rough coverage. I'm not covering the entire paper. I want some of that original tan to show through. And I am going back in and definitely adding in like pools of paint here. And I'm going to leave it alone. And I'm going to let it dry on its own and take on its own look. I did run it back through my folder one more time just to make sure I lined it up and ran it back through one more time to make sure I had a really good raised surface. And then I used my inks to go over the edge. So I used a dark gray, and then I'm going to go in and use this black ink as well. But first, while my paper is wet, I'm going to I'm going to distress it. And here I'm just using the edge of this tool, and I'm kind of scraping it up. My vision for this was always that it would be really aged and distressed wallpaper. And so I wanted some of the paper to look like it was peeling. And this was the paper wasn't really damp. It just had the slightest, very slightest bit of dampness, but not much at all. So you wouldn't want to wet your paper. You're not going to get the same kind of tearing, and it depends on the tool that you're using. But I'm just doing this, and then I'm distressing the edges. So I'm taking my scissors, and I would say I'm being careful, but I don't know how careful I usually am in this process. But I'm distressing the edges, and then I'm actually even going to cut little slits like this one right here. And then I'm going to roll up the edges of the cut as well and give it even more distressing. You don't have to do this. I just wanted to do this for this particular card because I felt like it really brought the whole vision for myself for this card together. I am going to distress. I'm just using straight from my ink pad to the paper and distressing those edges with this black soot. And then I actually did go back in on top of the embossing folder a little more and added some black details there as well. And I just love the effect. And to me, this does look like a beautifully old wallpaper. Now, I had these 2 brown strips. They were scraps left over from my sunflower cards that you might have seen me make the other day. And they just ended up being perfect for these little wall shelves. And I am going to lay all of my die cuts up here and arrange them around. Now, the whole time I'm having to think about a couple of things. The arrangement of my Pear Blossom Press candle light, as well as like what am I going to do scenery wise for the press button, because it's with these lights, it's important that you kind of work into your design what element is someone going to press on, how are you going to indicate to them that this is an interactive card, and how are you going to work that into your design. So I decided that one of these stars is going to be my button that I write the word press on, so that they know how to activate the light. And so with that in mind, I'm kind of arranging everything around it, getting a rough idea of where I want everything. And then again, always keeping in mind exactly where is that button going to land when it's behind my card, and how it's all going to line up. And it was perfect and easy enough and seamless enough. So I glued everything down. And then now I'm really working with deciding how to do this background. I used the same embossing folder and I embossed my entire card base, which is probably surprising no one at this point, because I'm doing that a lot lately and I love it. And so now I'm just really making sure that I have this light where I want it before it's all set in stone. And I played with it a little bit to figure out which part of this mechanism do you actually blow on to shut the light off, because the only way to turn off this light is to blow on it. So this tip here, I noticed, is the light itself, and that piece below it is the part you blow on. So when I lined this up with my hole, I made sure that I had a little bit of each in the opening, so it would be easy enough to blow out. Mine takes a couple of attempts, but I love how interactive it is and how cool it is. And I just thought how fun it would be to use the candlelight, not necessarily for a birthday card, although this could be a birthday card, but just for kind of a Halloween or a mystical or, a different kind of light. So we can use candles in different scenes besides birthdays. And so I really wanted to use this light for that. I will make sure to leave Pear Blossom Press linked down below. The most adorable birthday cards can be made with these lights, a cupcake with a candle on top, and someone has to blow out the candle and make a wish. I bought 4 of them at Paper Ganza when I was there, because I just knew if I gave one family member a candlelight card, I was probably going to have to give everyone a candlelight card, and they are just so cool. Now, I kept wanting to put like vellum over it, over the light, to dim it back a little bit, but you can't really do that because you need to be able to interact, engage with the light, and blow it out. Okay, so once I had everything lined up, then I brought in lots and lots of foam tape, and I left this in for all of you because I think with a mechanism like this, you might feel like, oh, that's an excessive amount of foam tape. Well, not really, because you want to protect the mechanism. Now, this is a high quality product. The base that it is on, the battery, the light, the everything, is very sturdy, but still I want to put enough foam tape around it to really protect it. Now, while you're putting a lot of foam tape in one area of card, you might as well go ahead, especially when you're investing as much time as I did in making this card, to put it all the way across your whole card base. And that way everything lays flat and you have something very even and that makes sense. And now I feel like I have the protection of the mechanism in place with that foam tape, a little extra support. I'm adding glue on top because I want to be able to reposition this piece as I lay it down in case I lay it down crooked, which I did a little bit and I didn't fix it, but I could have. And now it really comes alive and I just love this card. I love the way it all came together. I love the light effect. And now one of the last things to do is to glue on that star, which is the button that it's right over the button of the light. So people know to press there to turn on the light. And I'm just going to write the word press. Now, Pear Blossom Press and others, Lawn Fawn, I can think of a couple of others who over the years have released stamp sets for interactive cards. And I know they have some great ones, but like in this instance, I really needed to just write in the word press on that star because it's just so small. Then I used my Karen Burniston dies for a little like, oh, now I'm thinking I'm losing the word. But for that jump ring, the paper jump ring for my keys, I thought it'd be so cute to have those two keys kind of dangling from the shelf. I also added in a wand later to sit on the shelf, but I really love the way this card came together. And now I'm going to write the word press up there at the top. You could use a micron pen, and it would be great to use one with a smaller tip so that you would actually have room to write on that card. And now I'm just going to do a rough finish here of the card. See there where I didn't get it perfectly lined up? I'm not going to sweat it. It's fine. But on the inside, because I used a black cardstock, I am going to go over this with Lost Shadow, and I'm going to take my ink directly to the card base. So I'm just going to rub it right over the top of this card base, and I'm not trying to be perfect here. I'm not trying to get like a real smooth blend or anything like that. I want it to be very distressed, which it is. And it's just another way to finish up that card base. And I'm going to use it even some more here. So I'm going to bring in a place, because obviously we're going to want to write inside of this card. So I bring in this white paper, and this measures 4.5 by 6.5. You can make it 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. You can make it 5 by 7, whatever you want. But yeah, I'm just going to lay this on the inside, and then I'm actually going to take my ink pad to it once again, only touching the edge of the ink pad to the paper and getting some slight distressing because the stark white just wasn't doing it for me. Come hang out with me and Desiree and Sean tonight over at Manly Made Minute, and come back on Saturday here to my channel and let's learn eco printing with Yolanda from Devon Rex for Art. She is one of my favorite gel printing artists, and she's just a lovely person, and I would love for you to come and hang out with us and spend time with us on Saturday. And definitely come and hang out with us tonight on Sean's channel. I know we're going to have fun as well. We're going to be stamping and making cards. And on Saturday, we're going to take our gel prints and make cards too. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you tonight. Bye, everyone.